Hi, it's Teardown Tuesday again. Now, normally I wouldn't tear apart yet another ebook reader. I've done plenty of them, but I just couldn't resist with this one, especially to tear down a one hung low brand ebook reader, which this one is. But I got the thing for 30 bucks retail. That's 30 bucks Australian at Tricky Dick's. Retail price. Gotta be kidding me. So I just couldn't resist. What's inside a $30 ebook reader? Not only 30 bucks, but it's color. It's full color TFT display. No, sorry, it's not color, e-ink display used in the Kindles and everything else. It is just a regular TFT, but 30 bucks retail. How the hell can they sell this 30 bucks retail? You've got to be kidding me. Tricky Dicks would be buying this for 15 bucks absolute tops. You can probably buy it on the streets of Hong Kong for $10. Unbelievable. What's inside it? Can't resist tearing the damn thing apart. Now, this is the MiGear brand, and I think that might be like a Tricky Dick, sort of in-house kind of name. I'm not entirely sure. It was sold by Big W as well as a much higher price, and it was originally sold by Dick Smith at a much higher price, but it wasn't on special at 30 bucks. That was its new retail price. I think it might even be discontinued now. Anyway, but it goes under other brands as well, as you would imagine. From what I can find, the identical unit or identical looking unit is available as the Skytech brand, and also the Blip color ebook reader. But I believe some of those have better inbuilt functionality, like an FM radio or something like that, which I don't think this one has. But anyway, look at the funky looking case it comes in. It's not just 30 bucks in just a white cardboard box with a little slip of paper. It comes in a beautiful case like this. Yes, it is a lovely purple. It does come in many different fruity colors. I love it. But this is the only one they had in stock. Comes with a protective PU imitation leather case, and I'll read you the specs. Here it is. Where is it? 2 gig internal memory, 7-inch TFT color display, licensed Adobe Reader software, woohoo, an 800 by 400 color screen, rechargeable polymer battery. That's what I'm concerned about. For 30 bucks, you've got to worry what's inside the damn battery. Are they using it as a loss leader to export toxic chemicals or something like that? Oh, I don't trust this battery in here any further than I can throw it. 8 hours of constant reading, up to 5 hours of video playback, so they claim, for the first 2 uses. And it supports PDF, text, EPUB, RTF, HTML, MOBI, and PDB, whatever that is. And it supports MPEG, MP4, AVI, WMV, and all those. And it supports MP3s and WAVs and JPEGs and bitmaps and GIFs and PNGs and all sorts of other stuff. So, gee, I don't know. It's probably going to be a load of crap. I don't expect much from this at all. But I'll give it a quick little rundown of how the thing works, and then we'll rip it apart. Beauty. All right, let's see what we get in the box with this heap of thing. Hey, it's pretty heavy. Oh, that's pretty crusty. I don't like that. It feels really quite heavy. 311 grams. It's an absolute monster. But I guess it needs a big battery in there to power this TFT display in this thing, because it's going to be an absolute battery hog. It's going to be no book. You wouldn't use it as just a reader. You really need an e-ink display device. So let's peel off our, oh man, that doesn't feel good. That's really tough to pull off. Don't know how much static I'm generating there, but just look at the the purple, the horrid, terrible plastic on it, cheap as chips, spongy buttons. The layout is just atrocious, and really, the work experience kid in the Chinese factory has clearly designed this thing. There it is, MiGear, model number BSTE102, DC 5 volts at 1 amp, made in China, of course. Reset button, speaker. We've got it's got a mic built in. There we go. You can actually record with this sucker. We've got a headphone slot there, a DC jack, a tiny looking pissant DC jack there. We've got a micro SD card slot, easily accessible, and the Mini B USB. Presumably it charges from the Mini B as well. But yeah, it's just a horrible design. It feels tacky and really, it's not sturdy at all. It twists and turns. Don't like it. But I guess you can't expect much for 30 bucks retail, right? So I'm going to press the power button here and fail. Doesn't work out of the box. Either that or it takes some time to boot up. I don't know. Gonna have to charge this thing. Crap. And I'm guessing there are some people who care what else we get in the box here. Oh God, I don't know. How do you open this thing? Jeez. It's almost too hard. Ah. Come on. No. Fail. Product packaging. Fail. No. Ah, they've stuck it down. The bastards. Bloody hell. What have they done? This is ridiculous. Oh, look at the purple. Look at the purple case. Oh. Whew. And I got to tell you, this PU leather case is PU. It not only matches the colour, but it matches the quality of the plastic. It just makes your skin crawl, really. We have the cheapest, crappiest headphones money can buy, and we have a Mini B. Woohoo! And a couple of bits of paper. Who cares? Achtung! Must read. It is most important that you follow these instructions. You must charge your ebook reader for 8 hours before use. Well, curiously, I just plugged in the charger and it popped up and said, charging, please do not use, and then it turned itself on. Go figure. What's going on here? And it does show the battery charge as full. What the? And as for the TFT screen itself, it is exactly what I'd expect from a one-hung low brand, $30 TFT, TFT and a $30 ebook reader. It's really reminds me of, like sort of 1980s, early 90s sort of TFT technology. It's not that great at all, and I swear it's almost as if it's flickering. Maybe that's my imagination, but yeah, it's not that great to read. The angle is not terrific at all. It's going to be hard to get on camera, but I basically, I'm pretty much seeing what's on camera there. You turn it to an angle, 45 degrees, and you cannot read it like that. And down is, I can still read that, but it's not that great. And down like that is not that great either. But front on, it does the job for a $30 ebook reader, I guess. But you wouldn't use it for reading ebooks. You'd be crazy. You've got to use e-ink. And the menu system is okay, I guess, but geez, I don't know. Let's play something. And it comes with 100 free ebooks. Whoop-de-doo. They're just Project Gutenberg ones in text format. But there you go. I just plugged it in to the USB, and it does appear just as a direct drive. No problems at all. There's no other subdirectories. There's just these text files in it. That's it. All right, I've copied some files over to it. Let's go into ebook here. I assume you press M to go in there, and no, it's just showed up with all these text bloody ones. No, it's far too many. The PDF's showing up there, but it hasn't shown up with a different icon. It's just showed up the same icon as the TXT. That's hopeless. So I've got the, let's say, the Keithley low measurement handbook here. Let's open that up and see. There it is. There's the Keithley low level measurements handbook. Seems to have rendered okay. But I'm not sure. I mean, this is formatted for a slightly larger size, I think. So possibly, but that's, it's readable. Page turning's pretty slow on this PDF. It's not that great, but it's got the Adobe Reader software, so you'd expect it to work. It continues to show your battery gauge down here in this status display down the bottom. So how do we get out of that? Do we go menu? Yeah, no. Flip, browse, whatever. Who cares? I don't want this thing to be a review. One quick test. Let's see if it can play some video. I put three of my EEVblogs on there. It's only recognised 2, probably based on the file name. So let's give that a go, shall we? File format error. Fail. These are H.264. MPEG-4. No, can't play either of them. You've got to be kidding me. That's crap. It's a standard MP4, like H.264 MP4. Garbage. Well, I did actually get the video working. I had to rename my podcast version of my video. I had to give it the MP4 extension. So this is the podcast version. This is the 480 by 270 version, but it would not play the HD version of the same video rendered with the same program, Handbrake. Crazy. And there's no volume control on the thing, and you can't, you've got to really view it face on to get a good view of the thing. It's, oh man, it's barely acceptable. Well, I think I've had enough of this steaming pile of dog turd. Really, I couldn't be bothered reviewing this thing, so let's tear it apart. I see 2 little white gunked up things there. I'm assuming that if I dig those out, there's going to be 2 screws under there perhaps, or I might have to get my spudger out, maybe around the outside. Let's give it a go. All right, it looks like we're going to have to get in here with the spudger somehow, because it doesn't, oh, there we go. Yeah, it's gonna pop open, I think. As we get along, I'm not being too gentle with this thing because I really don't give a toss about it. Just want to get the thing open and look at the goodness or not so goodness, as the case will likely be, inside this rock bottom price, one hung low ebook reader. If anyone knows what price you can get this on the streets for, please like in Hong Kong or something, please let me know, because I'd love to, if someone's at Aki Harbour or something like that, one of the markets, or if you can see what you can get these bloody ebook readers for, because they're going to be good for part. Like you could, you might be able to hack the TFT out of this thing or something. Here we go. Ta-da! Oh, there we go. Hey, speaker. Who cares? There it is. The first thing I'm surprised about, they've actually bothered with shielding. They've got a couple of little sponges here and over here to connect to the shield on the front side of the case there, but the battery's just stuck down at any old angle there. I'm actually surprised at the size of that. I expected a much bigger battery because this thing weighs a fair bit, and of course, being a power hungry Colour TFT, I expected it to be quite significantly larger, like take up that whole area or something like that. But anyway, we've clearly got one main device down here we'll take a look at. We've got the flash memory and the DRAM, and space for a second memory there. And so I find that rather curious. They've gone to that trouble for the flat flex, 4-way flat flex all the way over, do a separate board here, and that's just for the tacked power switch on the top and the charging LED. Maybe there was something optional here based on these moldings in the case there perhaps. Who knows? But they've just added expense there. They must have done it for some specific reason. And there's the battery, lithium polymer, claims 3.7 volts at 1900 milliamp hours. I wouldn't trust that thing any further than I could crush it without the damn thing exploding. There does look to be protection circuitry in there though. It does look like it has a protection board on there. That's at least a good start, so no problems there at all. And if you have a look at that battery protection PCB there, it looks like they've done that reasonably well. There's 2 devices on there, presumably over voltage and under voltage cutout. So looks like they haven't really haven't skimped there at all. I'm very surprised. And they do like putting masking tape on stuff. There's the main flat flex cable going over to the TFT display down in there, and is that a... Yeah, it's a lock-in type, so, you know, no problems. I'm not sure why they're putting the masking tape on top of that. And there's a PowerTech brand PT1502 power management device. It's basically a single-cell lithium-ion charger. Charges at 800 or up to 800 milliamps. I think it's got a fixed 1.5 megahertz DC to DC converter to generate any power rails required for the main device. So yeah, they've chosen certainly not a name brand there, but one of the cheapest brands they possibly could. And the main device is from Rockchip. You've probably never heard of them, but they're a fairly large, fabless semiconductor maker. They make devices, you know, specifically for multimedia devices like this. This is from their 2700 series devices, which I believe are the older ones designed for multimedia devices, just like you know, these types of you know, sort of tablet-y type ebook readers that can playback video. It's got all the hardware decoding for all the video and the audio, and it's got video output capability to HDMI as well, I believe. It's got the memory controllers and the whole thing built in. That's why you only need this single chip, plus pretty much the surrounding flash memory and DRAM, and you know, not much else really, like an output amplifier for the speaker and stuff like that. And that's probably about all she wrote. So there you go. It's from Rockchips, and it's probably one of the cheapest devices on the market, and it's how they can get the price down on these things. So apparently it's got an ARM9 processor in it, plus a DSP core as well. It works at 600 megahertz, but you know, it just says it runs an RTOS. It's harder to find more information. Probably if I searched a bit more, I could anyway. If you want to look it up, search for Rockchip and the RK2700 series. And there's the Samsung NAND flash memory. That's 2 gigabits, and down here it looks like I can see tiny little Mitsubishi symbol in there, so that's a Mitsubishi DRAM, I presume. Can't quite read that number, not that it matters. Looks like they've got 2 footprints here for some sort of alternate device. I'm not sure what's going on there, but there's a little electrode insert microphone. There's our headphone output socket, our DC input jack. We can little 32 kilohertz crystal, which is gunked down there, not terrific, but it is. And it looks like we've got a speaker driver here, and there's no surprises. It's a one hung low brand in this case. This is the audio amplifier for the speaker, and it's an FT690M from Fangtech. Love it. So I've never heard of them, obviously. There's, you know, hundreds of companies like these in China that you've never heard of, and they produce these cheap as chips devices, and that's how they can get prices so low on these consumer products, because they're not going to use like a Maxim brand or a TI power amplifier chip, one of the big name quality brands. No, they'll use Fangtech, and that's clearly connected to the 32 kilohertz crystal there, so probably some sort of real-time clock. I can't quite read that on the screen here. It's HYM856 something, perhaps something like that. So maybe yeah, some sort of real-time clock device. Maybe that's not built in to the main Rockchip device. And up around near the power supply up here, this is probably the power supply for the TFT display or something like that. Some more stuff over there for the battery. That's what is that? That's a PT4110. There you go. That's also a PowerTech as well. Same brand, obviously, as the DC to DC converter. That's actually a white LED backlight driver. So that's the backlight for the TFT display. Now, if you take a look at this unpopulated flat flex footprint they've got there, it's basically paralleled up with the other TFT display like that, and then goes down into the main device down here. So clearly that's like a secondary connector designed probably for a different brand, different model, TFT display. So whichever TFT display they can buy this week, I guess they they actually populate that footprint instead of the other one, and just change the just move the ribbon cable over and plug it into there. So they have obviously put some thought into second sourcing the LCD display for this thing, so that they can keep it going. I wonder if they still make this. I'm not entirely sure, but clearly that's a second source connector. And you'll note the other unpopulated components up here. So they could re-spin this board very quickly in the manufacturing process. Just load up the components, just change the program in their pick and place machine to place these components in this connector instead of this connector, and these components over here. So you can quickly retool your product and have it roll off the line for whatever available TFT display you could buy this week or this month from the local Chinese market, I guess. And as you'd expect in these kind of devices, they've just bodged the battery directly across onto directly across that surface mount component there. You know, they haven't put a proper connector on the board or anything like that. Real bodgy stuff. But apart from that, that's probably the one of the. Oh, they do the same thing for the speaker over there. But apart from that, that's probably the bodgiest thing in this whole thing. Now, I was a little bit curious why they actually had what looks like two 32 kilohertz watch crystals here and here, one associated with this chip here and one associated with the rock chip, the main rock chip device. So I figured this must be a higher frequency one, because I couldn't see a surface mount crystal anywhere else. So that's probably a much higher frequency. So I'm going to get in there and probe that and take a look. All right, here we go. Let's have a look. And let's probe the side of that. There it is. 24 megahertz. Bingo. And of course there would be a PLL inside the main rock chip device to boost it up to the 600 megahertz required for the internal processor. So just one main 24 megahertz clock. I guess they use that small CAN device purely because it's the cheapest thing they could get, cheaper than, you know, a good quality brand external CMOS oscillator module. And just in case you are wondering, yes, the other crystal is a 32.768 kilohertz watch crystal. So I'm a little bit surprised. This was a better quality, a better built product than I was imagining. It's not on par with the Kindle by any stretch, really, just in terms of the quality of the fiberglass PCB, the quality of the components. The soldering's not quite as good and stuff like that, but you know, it's not too bad. I expected it to be a bit more slapped together than what we've actually found here. So I'm relatively impressed. I still think it's a junky product. I wouldn't recommend you go out and buy one. It's built down to a price, and that's how they get it down to a price, because the silicon costs money. So once you've got it all integrated, once you've done your engineering, once you've got your NRE cost out of the way for that main device from that fabulous semiconductor company rock chip, then you know there's not a huge amount of cost. You've just got some passive, some power stuff, and the memory, which you can get from, you know, a whole host of different suppliers, and the TFT display and the battery. It's not a huge amount in there. So anyway, it was rather interesting, a bit better than I thought. I'm pretty sure there's no components on the bottom there. I'm sure it's only going to be a top side load here. They wouldn't bother. There's plenty of room, so there's no reason to put any components on the bottom. So I don't think I'll bother taking the board out, but there you go. That's Teardown Tuesday, a one hung low brand ebook reader. I hope you liked it, and if you do, please give the video a big thumbs up, and if you want to discuss it, jump on over to the EEVblog forum. Catch you next time. Goodbye.